talking piece right here. I'm just kidding. Usually I do on my channel, I do voiceovers, but today I'm gonna actually talk. And I guess I feel more comfortable doing voiceovers because sometimes I feel like I sound really weird on camera, or my voice sounds like it's not that great. That's hard. So I'm just gonna get started. I did the actual Ancestry DNA. It says hello Jasmine. This is my profile here. And it has like my DNA matches, my DNA circles, and then my DNA ancestry, as well as ethnicity estimate, which is right here. Now, I share DNA with people who have tested 23,467 fourth cousins or closer are on here, and I have further cousins as well. So I have a lot of cousins on here. I guess my family were just all over the place. My genetic community, which I'm going to show you guys in a minute. Community is with Puerto Ricans in Northwest Puerto Rico. The Puerto Ricans from Northwest, basically it's our genetic community is connecting to all the recent ancestries or closest ancestries that are in the same area, so which happens to be Puerto Rico, which my mom is from Puerto Rico. She's from Arecibo. My dad is actually from Brooklyn, New York, but his mother and father were born in Puerto Rico. So my family, my recent generation of the family members are from Puerto Rico. Different parts of Puerto Rico. My dad's family is from Ponce, my mom's family is from Arecibo. So basically that's what the genetic community is, right? These are people from our most recent areas. Now, I'm gonna go with the ethnicity estimate. I am 20% African. I'm also, and in my 20% African, well, let me go through those later. I'm 60% Europe. I am 16% Native American. I am 1% Pacific Islander and 3% West Asian. Now, the DNA test does not show Sephardic ancestry. It only shows Ashkenazi ancestry, which I do have Sephardic ancestry, and I know this because my family knows. We've known for a while now. I also have documentation of the first family that came here from Spain on my mom's side that are that were the first Jews to actually come from Spain to Puerto Rico. And during the times where the Inquisition was happening and they were trying to get rid of Jews, it was like right after that. So there was a lot of Jews came to Puerto Rico. About 10,000 Jews came to the islands, and a lot of 10,000 actually resided in Puerto Rico and were hiding in Puerto Rico during the time where they were being prosecuted and forced to convert. So my family is actually part of that. My mother's haplogroup, which haplogroup is actually where your first haplogroup is like where your first genetic ancestry came from, and my haplogroup from my mother's side is A2, which is Native American. So my mom's haplogroup, which will be like our first generation, which goes back, I think it's like 25, maybe 10,000 years or 25,000 years, I believe, is A2, which is Native American. Now, I do have Jewish ancestry on my mom's side as well, but it's through my mom's father's lineage. and the A2 comes from my mother's lineage. Okay. Now, my dad's haplo was around, I believe it was like G something. It's like in the G's. And let me go down in the breakdown. So my African DNA results breaks down into different categories. I have Ivory Coast. My European is 60%. Sorry, I look different in this one. Which makes of, because this is categories, my Italian/Greek percentage is 19%. My European West which European West is like Belgium, France, Germany, Netherlands, Switzerland, Luxembourg, I don't know what that is, and Liechtenstein is 19%. My Iberian Peninsula, which makes up of Spain and Portugal, which I knew I had, is 16%. My European Jewish on this test, which my brother had a higher score in European Jewish, is Ashkenazi Jewish. This does not calculate for Sephardic, is 3%. So I do have Ashkenazi Jewish in my ancestry as well. My Ireland percentage is 2%, so I am 2% Irish. My Great Britain percentage is 1%. And it's crazy I have Great Britain, but I didn't even know that. I was like, where did I come from? But it's crazy when you check your DNA. My Native American is 16%. Which I told you guys, and my Pacific Islander, which is the 1%. Polynesia. I also have my West Asia, which is Middle Eastern, is 3%. And Cascas, I have no connection to, so I have no percentage of Cascas. So I checked my results and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is my DNA test. I knew I had that percentage of African, because in Puerto Rico you're known to have African, Native American, and Spaniards because of our history. If anybody researches the Puerto Rican history or the history of Puerto Rico, they would know that Puerto Rico was actually inhabited by Indians, which were called the Native Americans, which were called Tainos. And before they were Tainos, they were Aztecs, so that migrated there, and they were called Tainos. They were known as friendly Native Americans, and when Spain was conquered, when Spain came to conquer Puerto Rico, they brought over slaves, were African slaves that they brought with them. And they ended up trying to colonize Puerto Rico, but took over and killed a lot of the Taino Native Americans and left mostly the women and children. They ended up mixing with Tainos, and the Tainos mixed with the Africans. And so that's why in Puerto Rico you get different skin tones, you get different looks, like the way the women look, the way the men look. It's very different. We all look different. So it's sort of like with any place, like Mexico, you get people who are darker, people who are lighter, different color, hair, Just like that, in Puerto Rico, we have people with blonde hair too, blue eyes. As you can tell, I have light eyes. My brother has blue eyes. My little brother has brown eyes. So it's like a mixture. We're all mixed. I knew about the African. I knew I was gonna have it. I didn't know it was gonna be 20%. Because My dad's side are darker than my mom's side. So my mom's side is really light skin and my dad's side is a little bit darker. So I didn't know it was going to be 20%. So meaning I must have like a grandparent that was African. And my grandmother says she believes it's from my dad's side. It's my grandmother, my dad's mom. So, which will make sense because she's connected through my women when they get tested. Will only test with the women gene. So I can get every genetic from my mom and from any other woman in my dad's lineage. And then I have my uncle tested, which is my mom's brother, and he didn't have a higher percentage of African compared to what I had. Another thing I was probably more surprised about was that I had a lower percentage of the Iberian Peninsula, which was only 16%, and that Spaniard. The Italian and the Greece, I had a feeling I had that. European West, I didn't know. The Jewish I knew, but I didn't know we had Ashkenazi Jewish too. So I guess Sephardic and Ashkenazi is sometimes mixed at one point. And Ireland, we used to joke a lot that we had Irish blood or Irish DNA because my brother has a red beard and he's really light skinned, very fair. And everybody used to say that he was Irish because, or we had Irish because of him. And in our family, we have people with red hair. So it was something that we used to joke about, and we were like, I bet you we have Irish. I bet you we have Irish. Great Britain, I was very surprised about to even have a percent in that. Never thought our family or our ancestors, we had any from Great Britain, but it says here we had 1% Great Britain. Native American, I knew off the bat. Mostly any Puerto Rican, majority of the Puerto Ricans that I know that have gotten tested have Native American. It's rooted in Puerto Rican culture about the Taino Indians, and people say that the Tainos were killed off, and that's not true. Tainos, not all of them were killed off. Obviously, you can tell because we still have it in our blood. Tainos or Native Americans in Puerto Rico are still around. People have higher percentages than me. So my mom has 18% Native American. So, you know, we had a grandparent that was Native American. My Pacific Islander, the Polynesia, I never knew about that. I never knew I was going to come out with like a Hawaiian ancestor in Polynesia. Like, I never knew that. I did connect with someone who says that we are connected through that Polynesian line, and I was like, well, it's only 1%, but they know that we are connected through that line. But it was crazy for me to even know that I had Polynesian in me. So, wow, it's cool. The Middle Eastern, the 3%, I knew. I mean, that's goes without saying. Jews come from Middle East, so I just knew that was gonna happen. Now, your siblings might carry more of certain DNA than you do. So my brother his composition is different from mine because we carry your genetics differently, you carry your DNA differently. So chromosomes that you might have, they might not have, or they have more than you have. After everything that's happened with slavery and what's gone on with the Tainos, you know, the murdering of ancestors and all this stuff, we should keep our heritage rich, our ancestry rich, and always share it with our children so that they know and they can pass it on to the next. And all the interesting stories that our family carries with it. So there's also another site called gedmatch.com, and I use that site. What they do is they break down your chromosomes and they give you a number. It's a GEDmatch number. So the chromosomes are broken down by I believe 22 chromosomes, I believe. I think it's really cool, and thank you guys for watching my channel. And if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to my channel, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.